Hey everybody, Edo here, and this is Goblin Vaults. This was sent along by the good folks at Thunderworks Games, but actually the story is deeper than that because Keith sent it along, Matejka, the owner, and Keith and I are friends, but also have collaborated on a bunch of games. In fact, Mall Peak, awesome game, is coming out later this month to retail, so we work together a bunch, and Goblin Vaults is based out of the role player universe. I think when he was working on Lockup, there were goblins who played this game, Goblin Vaults, in the prison, and he wanted to make a small game out of it, and I'm a big proponent of small games. And so while this was all happening at some point, because he's done so much designs with us at Pencil First Games, I was like, hey, let me take a stab at Goblin Vaults. I'll give you a design for it. And so I worked on it a little while and presented it to him. And it was funny because I was thinking of a game that was like gambling and betting and a little push your luck in the with the goblins, trying to like see who could be the sneakiest. And now, and to be clear, the game wasn't any good. Had all sorts of problems, like for sure. I'm not espousing it, but the conversation with Keith, we're going through it, and maybe we could have went and developed it and refined it. But he was like, you know what? And this is a paraphrase. I don't remember exactly, but something like, I don't think I like gambling games or betting games. Like, there's so much chance and just bluff. Like, he's like, I like strategy games. And so it was cool. I tried, it wasn't for him and it needed more work. But then he went off and I guess designed it with somebody, Eric Scholutman, if I pronounced that right. I'm sorry if I didn't. And so super exciting for me to play it. I didn't get to play it until I got the copy, so I had no idea what direction they took it in. And it's super interesting to me because this is taking sort of like a trick-taking game with a little of an auction mechanic and making it like very strategic and very little chance in the game. Or there's still chance for sure, but like less so. Nothing like a gambling game. And so yeah, he's delivered that. And so what's cool about this game is it really is. It's like if you took a trick-taking game and you wanted to stabilize it with strategy and put a lot more meat in there. Let me explain. So in Goblin Vaults, you're going to have 10 cards, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And this is going to represent your hand. You're going to get dealt one of these cool goblins, and that'll be, you get a marker that matches. And what you're going to be doing over the course of 9 rounds, first you're going to place one of your cards, but over the course of 9 rounds, you're going to be making your vault, which is going to be a number of chambers, each 4 chambers, each of which, why does this feel wrong? No, it doesn't have to. That's correct. But each of which is as much as 3 deep. You're not going to have a perfect 12. I was like, that's not 12. That's not 10 cards. But you'll have some combination. And so at the end of the game, what you're going to do is everyone will have their little tableau, their vault in front of them, and you're going to score based on that. And the scoring has to do with each one of these cards has a little icon that says what position in the chamber, like top, middle, or bottom. You're going to get points for that. You're going to get points for cards that match your faction or, whatever your goblin is. You're going to get points for gears, which you might have gotten over the course of the game. Then also, you'll get points for a number of gold cards that are at the top. These could be things like this one, cluster, is that you want to have cards in your chamber in a sequence, like a 7, 8, 9. This one just you want to have a specific suit, the book suit in your chamber. This one is Scourge Chamber, which the highest value card is a crown card. So like in my chamber, it's like a 3, a 4, and an 8, and the 8 is the crown card. I'm going to get points. So basically, a bunch of different suit cards that give you different bonuses based on the suits. You've got your main gold cards. So like a lot of variety, but basically, I'm going to make this tableau in front of me, and I'm trying to get things into exact positions so that I'm able to score the most points. Well, so how do I get cards, right? So first you're going to take one of your 10, you're going to play it as a starting card. It's out there. Cool. We're going to play 9 rounds. And what is in front of all of us is this little area where you have a warden card at the top and then these 3 cards that everyone's playing against. Now, the warden card is used to define the trump suit. So if you've played trick-taking games, this is the suit that will win even if the number is lower than everyone else. And so what's going to be happening is we are all going to play from our hands. There's that one card in a chamber in my vault, and this is the block. And we're all going to take turns playing our cards to the table and using, who am I? I'll be this character with the dragon, to represent my play. So what you're trying to do is have the highest number, or the a trump card with the highest trump card. But if there's just one, you're going to win. If you do, here's what's interesting. If you do, you win the top card. So essentially, we're playing for these top cards to bring them into our vault. However, if you lose, instead of getting the top card, you get the card that you played. So every round, everyone's going to just get a card, no matter what. That's why it's 9 rounds. We're all going to end with 10 cards in a place. But what's happening is you're doing this interesting, there's a little bluff. And people, I've seen some other reviews call it auction. I guess it's an auction a little. But basically, you're playing against these cards that we're all seeing in front of us, and you're trying to either play for the top card or play for, with the intent to not get it, and keep your card and play it. There's some other mechanics about how after each round, you have the opportunity to swap up, and cards that get played get sort of moved in position, and we can add some tokens on it, and you can underbid by having to pay up a token. There's a lot of little rules in there. But in essence, what's really interesting about this game, which is very strategic, is I'm having this sort of fixed set collection, sort of chamber of points that are working towards goals, working towards sequences, and we're doing this little micro behavior around what card we're going to get to put in. And so it's not that it's cool. I'm like, well, how do I want to say it? It's the game I was making wasn't any good, so it's way better than that. But I think this is a really nice, if emotionally you're like, I've played hearts and spades in those games, I've got my hands and we're all playing it through, and I feel like somebody can just win because they've got a better dealt hand. Or I don't like playing poker because you just get a flop and whoever's got, if you play, if you ever play poker or betting games or trick-taking games, and you're ever it's cool, but it just feels like there's not enough structure and strategy to it to make it work. I end up just feeling like somebody won by chance. If you're not into a game where it's not about winning every round, it's by having the best percentage points over time that you're working towards to gain an advantage over many, many plays. I actually think this is a super cool game, because it does that, because it gives you that type of play, but in a way that stays structured and managed. It has some, we played it with a bigger group. It has some special rules for 2 players. His stuff usually has solo rules. Yeah, this is 1 to 5. We didn't play solo, or I didn't play solo. But I dig it. Lightweight game from Thunderworks that still, I think, carries what is true to their brand, which is strategy. So, Goblin Vaults. Hey everybody, Edo here, and thanks for watching Gaming with Edo. Reviews over here on this playlist, League and Insider videos over here on this one. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. But most importantly, play some great games. Thanks. Bye.